Hello guys. So in this session we are going to learn how to install Elasticsearch on Amazon Linux too. Okay. So let's start. So first of all here I mentioned some prerequisites. So in this first of all we need AWS account with Amazon Linux 2 easy to instance. Then we need at least 2 CPUs and 4 GB RAM for smooth performance. Then ensure that the instance security group allows inbound traffic, that means inbound ports like 9200 So that we need these three ports. So that's why you need to make sure that in your security group that three ports will be allows. Add. Okay. Okay, so now let's start to install Elasticsearch on Amazon Linux too. So first of all, you need to launch your instance. So as you can see, this is my instance and I have successfully connected to my terminal. Okay, so let's start to install Elasticsearch. Okay, so first of all, we need to install Java and Amazon Linux too. So first of all, we need to update the system packages. Okay, so the command of update system package of Amazon Linux to sudo yum update -y to update the system packages. Okay, so no packages marked for update. Okay, then next is let's import the correcto GPG keys. Okay, so for Amazon distribution of OpenJDK packages, so let's import these keys. Okay, the next is add the yum repository. So we need to add this repository using the sudo curl command. Okay, it's done. Then next is now it's time to install OpenJDK 11 on Amazon Linux too. To install Elasticsearch, we need a Java. So that's why we are going to install Java 11. So let's install using the following command. So as you can see, it's complete and dependencies installed. Okay, and install Java 11 Amazon Correcto. Okay, to check the details of Java, so you can verify the installation using the following command. Java version, you can see OpenJDK version, OpenJDK runtime environment, and so on the details of our Java. Okay, so we have successfully installed Java. Now it's time to install Elasticsearch on Amazon Linux too. So how to install? So first of all, let's import the Elasticsearch GPG keys using the following command. Let's import the Elasticsearch GPG keys. Okay, it's done. Then add this Elasticsearch repository to the package manager by writing the configuration to a new repo file. Okay, so a repo file is that elasticsearch.repo, and where the location is /etc m.repos.d, and in this folder there is a file name that elasticsearch.repo. So let's create this file. Let's add this Elasticsearch repository into this file. So I'm going to run this command. Okay, it's done. You can see name is Elasticsearch repository, base URL, GPG check, GPG keys, then enabled one, auto refresh one, type RPN MD, and so on the details of this file. Okay, so you are successfully added. Then now the next is now it's time to install Elasticsearch. Okay, so let's install Elasticsearch using packages. So the command is sudo yum install Elasticsearch -y. So as you can see, it's installing Elasticsearch, and as you can see, the version of Elasticsearch is latest, that 8.17.2. That's the latest version of Elasticsearch that we are going to install on this Amazon Linux store. Okay. So as you can see, it's done. We have successfully downloaded the packages, then transaction test successful, right? And it's installed and it's complete. Okay, so we have successfully installed this Elasticsearch. Okay, so it's done. Okay, now it's time to start and enable our Elasticsearch using this following command. So first of all, let's enable and then let's start our Elasticsearch. It takes few seconds to start Elasticsearch. Okay, so it's done. Now let's check the status of our Elasticsearch first. As you can see, it's active running and the date and time is 6 seconds ago, right? Okay, so it's successfully installed Elasticsearch on Amazon Linux too, right? Okay, now it's time to configure Elasticsearch. Okay, so how to configure? To allow connection to Elasticsearch, let's edit the configuration file. Okay, so we need to edit the configuration file of Elasticsearch. So the location is /etc Elasticsearch elasticsearch.yaml file. So I'm going to use my favorite editor, Nano. So let's edit. And in this, we have make some three changes here. So first of all, let's go to the network section. Okay, here is the network section. You can see here. As you can see, the network section. Okay, so in this section, first of all, let's go to the network host. So we need to uncomment this network host and we need to replace this IP with 0.0.0.0. That means any IP can access this Elasticsearch on. Okay, so after that, let's uncomment this discovery seed host and I'm going to remove this host for our host 2. Okay, that two changes. After that, the third one is let's scroll down here. That expect security enable, there is a true replace with false. Okay, so we have make three changes. First is IP, then discovery seed host, and this true replace with false. Okay, now let's save the file and exit. And as you know, after changes any configuration file, we need to restart the server. It takes few seconds to restart Elasticsearch. Okay, now let's check the status. As you can see, 4 seconds ago and status is active running. Okay, it's done. Right. So we have successfully installed Elasticsearch. Now it's time to send the GET request to check if Elasticsearch is running and responding. So if successful, you should see the JSON response. So let's check. So as you can see, the cluster name, the cluster UID, version, number, build flavor, build type, hash, date, snapshot, and so on the details of our Elasticsearch. Okay, so let's access these details on browser. So how to access? So let's copy your instance IP, hit on browser, and the port number of Elasticsearch is 9200. As you can see, the details of our Elasticsearch. That means we have successfully installed Elasticsearch. Okay, it's done. Now it's time to install Logstash. So Logstash process and transform logs before sending them Elasticsearch. So let's install Logstash on the system. So as you know, first of all, we need to run this command to install Logstash. Sudo yum install Logstash -y. So as you can see, it's installing Logstash on Amazon Linux too. Okay. And you can see the install size 683 M and total download size is 417, and the version you can see 8.70.2, repository Elasticsearch, and the size. That's the details of our Logstash. Okay, so we are going to installing Logstash. So it take few seconds to install, so wait for few seconds. So now, first of all, we have installed Java. After that, we have installed Elasticsearch, right? Then we have make some changes in configuration file of Elasticsearch, right? After that, we have successfully accessed the Elasticsearch in browser also. Okay, so now it's time to install Logstash. Logstash takes some time to install. So as you can see, it's almost done. Now it's 88% complete. As you can see here, the MB size. Okay, it's done now. It's done. Install Logstash, the version, and it's complete. Okay. After installing Logstash, let's set up the Logstash to receive logs from Filebeat and forward them to Elasticsearch. Okay. Now, let's create the Logstash configuration file. So we need to create the Logstash configuration file in this location, etc logstash conf.d, then logstash.conf, the file name and the location. And in this file, we are going to add this data into this. Yeah. You need to careful about indentation. If you add any extra space in this file, then you will get an error. Okay. Or else you can't access this Logstash or Kibana and whatever. Okay, so you need to careful about indentation. So first of all, here as you can see, bits port 5044, then output. Here you can see Elasticsearch, the host. Elasticsearch port number is 9200, right? So that's the details of this. Okay, now let's save the file and exit. Okay. So now let's enable our Logstash. Then let's start our Logstash also. And let's check the status if you want to check the details of it. You can see it's done. So we have successfully installed Logstash also. Okay. Now it's time to install Kibana. Okay. So Kibana provides visualization for Elasticsearch data and install Kibana on the system. Okay. So we need to visualize the data of Elasticsearch using Kibana. Okay, so that's why we need a Kibana. So let's install Kibana. Sudo yum install Kibana-y. Okay. So install Kibana, it's complete. Okay. Now it's time to start or enable our Kibana. First of all, let's enable our Kibana. Then let's start Kibana. And then let's check the status of our Kibana. As you can see, it's active running and the 5 seconds ago, right? Okay. So let me clear screen first. After that, let's open the Kibana configuration file. So we need to some changes in this configuration file. So let's open this configuration file. And here we have three changes also. First of all, let's uncomment the server port. So Kibana default port number is 5601. Then uncomment this server host and remove this local host and replace with 0.0.0.0. That means any IP address can access. Okay. Then let's scroll down. And here in this system Elasticsearch, let's uncomment this Elasticsearch host and the port number is 9200. Let's save the file and exit. And as you know, after changes, any configuration file, we need to restart our server. So let's restart the Kibana. And if you want to check the status, and as you can see, it's 3 seconds ago. Now it's done. Okay, we have successfully installed Kibana also. Okay, so let's access Kibana in browser. So first of all, we are going to install Filebeat, and after that, we are going to access Kibana in browser. Okay, for only we need to remember the Kibana port number is 5601. Okay, so okay, let's access Kibana on browser first. Copy instance IP, hit on browser. Kibana port number is 5601. As you can see, loading Elastic. So as you can see, welcome to Elastic. That's the Kibana dashboard. Okay. So first of all, let's go to this. Now the next step is let's install Filebeat on Amazon Linux too. So Filebeat collects the forward logs data to Elasticsearch or Logstash. So let's install Filebeat on the system. So as you know, the command of installing Filebeat. So it's installing Filebeat on this Amazon Linux too. Okay, it's done. After that, let's open the Filebeat configuration file for edit. So we need to make some changes in Filebeat configuration. Okay, so here let's go to the output section. Okay, in this output, first of all, let's comment this output Elasticsearch and the Elasticsearch port number that host. Comment, and after that let's scroll down and you need to uncomment this output Logstash and host of the Logstash. Okay, remember thing. First of all, you need to comment this output Elasticsearch and the host of Elasticsearch. Then you need to go to the Logstash output. After that, you need to uncomment this output Logstash and uncomment this host of this Logstash. Let's save the file and exit. Okay, it's done. Now it's time to enable our Filebeat system. Okay, enable system. Then, okay, sorry. We need to run this following command to apply the changes that we have make here. Let's check for once. Okay, so let's run this command to make save the changes. Okay, then set the Filebeat to load the index template into the Elasticsearch. Okay, index setup finished. Now let's run this command to running our dashboard. So as you can see, its setup is finished. Loading dashboard, Kibana must be running and reachable. So we need to wait for few seconds. It take few seconds to complete. Okay, as you can see, loaded dashboards. Now it's complete within 10 to 20 seconds. Okay, it's done, right? Okay. Now, okay, wait. First of all, before run this command, we need to open this system module configuration file. First of all, we need to open this system configuration file, and in this file, we need to replace this false with true. After that, here also false replaced with true. Let's save the file and exit. And after that, let's run the following command to apply the changes. Okay. And now let's set up the file bit. And now let's run this command to running our dashboard. So loaded dashboard, Kibana must be running. So we need to wait for a few seconds. As you know, it takes few seconds to complete. Okay. So as you can see, loaded dashboard, it's done. Okay. Then after that, let's start and enable our Kibana, sorry, and Filebeat. Okay. Now, let's ensure that Elasticsearch is receiving data from Filebeat by checking the indicates. So let's check. So, and if you want to check in browser, so you can check also in browser. Just a second. As you can see here, we have successfully get our output, right? You can see. Okay. So this is the, you can see the Elasticsearch is receiving data from Filebeat, right? So that's the data of Elasticsearch. Okay. Okay. Now let's go to the Kibana, and here, welcome to Elastic. So click on explore on my own. Okay. So first of all, let's check for once. Okay. And then Okay. Now that's a Kibana dashboard, right? And if I go to this and click on the discover, so as you can see the logs, you can see the details of our logs, right? So you can see the timing that's 15 minutes ago, right? So you can see the details of it. Okay. So in this discover, you can see. So first of all, here we have select this file bit, right? Index pattern to access file bit data. And by default, Kibana displays log from these last 15 minutes, you can see. So visualize as a histogram along with these individual logs. You can see the message below. Okay, right. That's the logs. You can see the date and timing. Okay, so that's it. So it's done. So in this session, we have learned how to install Elasticsearch on Amazon Linux too. So thank you for watching and I hope you understand.